Ring, 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 ring. I think we need it. We need some sound effects for this. We've got an incoming caller. James Whitelock in the house. James, good to see you. We've been connected for a long time. I think this is the first time we've actually chatted, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? You kind of connect with people on LinkedIn, and then you kind of forget about them, right? That's
You unfollowed me. I see how that went. I love that. Well, why don't you give us a quick intro, who you are, what you do, for anyone who doesn't know you?
So I'm the managing director of Thinking Circles. We're a marketing agency for the staffing and recruitment space. So we work directly with staffing firms, direct employers, and some kind of tech businesses in around the tech space, rec space, handling their marketing, their B2B, B2C, employer branding, all that kind of cool stuff. Well, I think it's cool. Some people don't really, but I think it's cool.
I love it. How long you been doing this for?
Well, the business has been going about 12 years.
Wow.
I mean, I've been doing it way longer than that. I mean, my history goes back into Randstad and Vedior, all those kind of old school businesses. Yeah.
Back when they were using fax machines
What
to
you
get
still I
kind of.
still get that, right? The amount of times I talk to people who's like, "Oh, I'd just love to go back to using a roller deck." Yeah, we don't work with those kinds of people.
Well, what do we all right, what is the topic for today? I think this is gonna be a good topic for anyone who's in recruitment, staffing. What are we talking about today?
So I'm allowed to swear, just like I can do that, right? Yeah,
Yeah, you
because
can swear
okay.
it up. Swear it
Okay,
up.
so we're going to talk about fuck funnels, right? And this is sales and marketing funnels and why they are absolutely useless in the modern age, basically, right? So
What's a funnel? Just so I because, not everyone's
so
a
everybody's
marketing
talking
guy.
about, so when people are kind of building out their marketing strategies, we got to move people down the funnel. So you've got this kind of wide part at the top, which is usually called awareness, where no one knows about you. You stuff all these kinds of you attract all these people in the top, and they filter all the way down to consideration, to buyer, to all that kind of bullshit, basically. And the problem is, right, this is a strategy that was created in 1889, right, by a chap called E. St. Elmo Lewis, right? So before there was even the thought of the internet, before there was any social media, before there was the ability to put a video up online, before there was any way to, before there was even a PDF, basically, right? Right? Any of that stuff. This was built for an age when all you had was a shop window, an actual shop window, not when we say your website is your shop window, but an actual shop window.
Yeah,
And the
storefront. I think
all right,
they say storefront, right? Yeah.
exactly. And the back and a newspaper, right? That's when this was built. So, but people seem still to be wedded to these kind of sales and marketing funnels and using that as a strategy to retain and generate leads, basically, right?
What are the most common funnels that you see then that people get really, because obviously you're dealing with a lot of recruitment companies around awareness converting into sales. So like what are the some of like the funnels that people get really into that are just pointless to even think about?
Well, it's the kind of the client attraction funnel, right? If you're a staffing business, they're always kind of like, we want more clients, right? So we're going to do something that makes these people that have never heard of us aware of us, and then hopefully when they're aware of us, they're going to then interact with us somehow in this arbitrary kind of linear process, basically. So the kind of the old school AIDA model, where you're kind of going from awareness to attraction to consideration to buyer. The problem is it's one way, right? It's just this you stuff in the top and it goes in one direction. It doesn't really fit how we buy, how we use the internet, and all the multitude of channels that we now have at our disposal, right? So if you're sticking, so you take Mr. Client that you've never heard of, comes into the funnel, and they basically go one way. But that doesn't work that way now, right? Most people just circulate around your business. So let's take, like, there's a phase in there in most ones called consideration, where they're considering using you. Most buyers probably are way beyond consideration by the time they even reach out to you, because they've been doing all their research online. They know, they've looked at the referrals, they've looked at your Google review, they've looked at Glassdoor or whatever else they figured out. They've spoken to someone who's already used you before. So they're way beyond that. So trying to kind of force them down this arbitrary funnel where they've leapfrogged certain phases anyway is absolutely just kind of pointless and arbitrarily. The other thing is what you happen with marketing funnels and sales funnels is you embargo really good bits of content or collateral till someone gets to a certain stage, like a case study or something,
Yeah,
right?
it's like the gated content, right?
Right. You don't get to until you get to a certain point, right? And most businesses, it's probably cost them a lot of money. They've put a lot of effort and time and resources into building this kind of collateral, whether it's like a case study, whether it's a salary survey, whether it's this kind of thing, just for it not only to be seen by a very tiny percentage of the people that they actually want to see it because they've gone down this arbitrary funnel. Whereas if you're a bit more kind of open about all this and a bit more kind of, there's other the kind of terms you can use, like, the HubSpot flywheel or that kind of circular thing now where the client sits in the middle and they kind of control how they engage with all this stuff floating around them. Way more sophisticated and way more interesting and way more useful in the kind of modern age, and doesn't really rely on just embargoing bits of really good content and collateral until someone gets to an arbitrary point in the process. It also allows for people to just sit at certain points there as well and never really necessarily go any further, but they still can become an advocate. They can still really like your brand. They can still want to interact with it and engage with it, but not necessarily do anything with it. And that's kind of cool. That's fine. That's what some people do. They may convert in 2 or 3 years' time, but they're still tracking and still being part of your kind of ecosystem, your marketing ecosystem.
So, okay, so this whole outdated system with funnels, where I think, like, in my mind, it was when people start to, we've seen it happen. I see it happen all the time with the work that I do. I'll partner with a brand, and they're obsessed with like click through rate. They're obsessed with like this arbitrary data, and I'm like, well, what does that actually mean? Like, where are you driving people to? Or it's just not right. It just doesn't seem like it's always that thought out. So if we get rid of the funnel, like what I guess what do you advise businesses on, like what replaces that, or how do you need to be thinking about a funnel in the right way?
So, you're going to kind of move towards something where you're like engagement rates, right? What's engaging the people that you want to kind of talk to? And if you can see, and it's getting easier and easier with all this kind of tech at our disposal now, we can see who's engaging with the bits of content, bits of collateral, bits of stuff that you're sticking out online on multiple channels. Who's engaging with that? Are those the right people to it? Is it resonating with them? Are they doing anything after that? And that's maybe where click through rates still have a place, right? But that engagement rate, is that resonating with the people that you want to kind of talk to? Are they doing something with it? Are they following it? Are they signing up for more bits and pieces? The thing is, really, we're probably already doing a lot of this stuff anyway, right? People have probably moved away from funnels, but still think they're using a funnel and just still kind of going down this route anyway. And they're probably much more around this kind of circular flywheel philosophy anyway, but don't really know that they're doing it. I mean, the problem with that is then you can't really strategize for it. If you think you're doing one thing, but you're actually doing another, it's not really, that's not a marketing strategy. That's just you chucking shit at a wall and seeing what sticks, right?
No, that is the marketing strategy.
I mean, yeah,
I feel like that's what everyone's doing nowadays, or just taking other viral content and making it your own by just posting it from your own channel. Well, James, where can people find out about you? Where can they connect with you? What's the best place for people to reach out and
just
see
look
your
for
content?
James Whitelock on LinkedIn. Look for Think in Circles on LinkedIn, or go to thinkincircles.com.
Love it.
I'm pretty ubiquitous when it comes to LinkedIn. You'll probably, just do a search. You'll find this very handsome face looking back at you on my profile photo. And yeah, feel free to reach out, DM, comment, whatever you want to do. I'm a pretty open book, and we can happy to have a chat with anybody who wants that.